What's up, guys? It's bluetea-TCG back with another Vanguard video, and today I'm going to show another combo for Premium Silver Thorn. This is part 2 of our combo demonstrations. This one involving a combo between Mystique-Gouman, who is the Giera stride that Silver Thorn got a while back, as well as Gouman, who is one of the new ones that we got in overdress. Let me find it. Here we go. This is Gouman. Gouman was a card intended for Rising Greed, or not Rising Greedon, but just Greedon in general. Greedon being a card that can attack multiple times in a single turn on a Vanguard swing, as long as you can put enough rear guards that you control into your soul. Into your soul. And Gouman gets its ability off whenever it's put into the soul by the ability of your Vanguard, while your opponents are grade 3 or greater. So we're going to make use of this combo in Silver Thorn. Perhaps not the deck it was intended for, but still, trust me, there is potential with this combo. So let me go ahead and show that off. And before we get right into it, let me go ahead and show the setup we have in our soul here. As you saw, we have the Dorian, we have Sylvia, we have Gouman itself. We also have Cat and High Boots, as well as some Annas and a Zelma. The Zelmas are 100% necessary, I can assure you. You have the Zelmas there, and then we have the Upright Lions, as well as a Cerny. So with this in mind, we're able to hopefully get off a very hard to defend swing, because it's basically an ordinary Silver Thorn turn, except with a 2 or more guard restrict on top of that. So let's go ahead and stand and draw. Okay, we drew the Giera Lukie. We're going to ride the Giera Lukie. This one we're riding because we want the stride bonus, and 3 Excel circles is all we really ever need for such for this kind of ceiling that this deck has. So we're content with not having to, ride into another card that gives us an Excel marker. Then we're going to discard for stride cost a Venus Lukie. We're going to stride our Mystique Lukie. And because Mystique Lukie was strode and Silver Thorn, it gets the ability that whenever we call Silver Thorn from Soul, that unit gets plus 3,000 power until end of turn. And then we're going to trigger the Cat and High Boots that we have in Soul. And now we're going to go into main phase. So looking at this, we do have this, relatively tame hand. We don't really have much going on with it. But notice that we do have a Dixie in hand, which is going to be very important. We're going to use this Dixie to actually call out an upright line from Soul before we start doing anything. That way we have an upright line that can get stacks before we start building our field. And then we shuffle. And yeah, if you guys are playing this deck, you can always do Cat and High Boots upon your stride. It's just that sometimes you're not at GB1, which generally when you're going for this combo, you're not going to be at. You shouldn't really be doing it on your first stride anyway. But Cat and High Boots works whenever your Vanguard is placed. You don't have to have strode in order for it to trigger. All right, and then so we called the upright line. Then we're going to go ahead and use Mystique Lukie's skill right now, and notice that this combo works just because Mystique Lukie. Just because Mystique Lukie, for its cost, requires only 2 of your rear guards. It doesn't specify Silver Thorn. So you just gotta have 2 rear guards put into your soul, and then we go ahead and do the rest. It doesn't even require a counterblast or a G-flip or anything like that. And I should mention that before we proceed with Mystique Lukie's skill, Upright Line is gonna get plus 3 because of the stride bonus. So let's go ahead and put these 2 into Soul's cost. Then we're going to Soul Charge 2 because we have a Hardcore Lukie in the name. Those are the 2 we Soul Charged. And then we're going to call 2 Silver Thorns from our Soul to the rear guard circle. Here, we're going to call an Anna, as well as a Sylvia. Both Sylvia and Anna are going to get plus 3 because of the stride bonus, but since they're gonna leave the field anyway, we're not going to worry about it. We're not going to bother with it right now. But Upright Line is going to get plus 6. And then Anna's going to trigger. We're going to put herself and Sylvia into the soul to countercharge. And then as soon after we countercharge, we're going to use Gouman's skill to counterblast and get that guard restrict online, because that's what Gouman allows us to do when it's put into the soul from your rear guard circle by your Vanguard's ability, which it was because of Mystique Lukie. So that's the kind of way we abuse Gouman in the deck it's not intended to be used in. But regardless, as you can see, this is going to be pretty cool regardless. So now let's use Sylvia's skill because it was called out from Soul. We're going to counterblast and call 2 from our Soul to rear guard circle. here we're going to call Zoma and Zoma. We're going to call two Zelmas here. Upper line is going to get +6. We're going to use this Zelma skill, put this Zelma into the soul. And we're going to call Selvia. And then the other Zelma that I was putting into the soul earlier, we're going to use that skill to put this Zelma into the soul and call an upright lion. Okay, so upright lion is going to get +3 because of the stride bonus. And then this upright line is going to get plus, what was that? 1, 2, it should get +6, I believe. And I'll fix it in the editing if that was incorrect. I just couldn't remember in this moment. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and activate Selvia's ability, Counterblast. And then we're going to call 2 more cards. We're going to call Upright Lion, and the other card's going to be Zelma. So Upright Lion is going to get +3 or +6 here. This Upright Lion is going to get +6. This Upright Lion is going to get +6 as well because of the stride bonus plus the Zelma. And both of these cards should have +3, but they're probably going to leave here soon, so that's why I didn't do that quite yet. But this Upright Lion is going to get +6. And then we're going to use this Zelma, put Selvia into the soul, call Selvia back out. All the upper lines are going to get +3. Okay, let's go ahead and use that die instead. And then we're going to use Selvia's skill one more time. So we're going to Counterblast 1 and call 2 more cards from soul. One of these is going to be a Cerne. The other one's going to be another Zelma. All of our upright lines are going to get +6. And of course, if you're playing this deck, as it usually goes with Silver Thorn and Premium, if you're going to be playing upright lines especially, make sure to have all the dice ready, because it's hard to keep track otherwise. So we're going to go and use this Zelma, put, let's see here. Looking at the soul, let me just take a look at the soul one more time. I think we can safely call Lillian, to be honest, off of this. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So let's go ahead and put this Zelma into the soul. Or actually, let's put Selvia into the soul. Why not? And we're going to call Lillian. So all of our upright lines once again get +3. Lillian herself is going to get +3 as well. In fact, all of the other units on which I haven't put the +3s should have +3 because of the stride bonus. So this is why running these +3s are non-trivial, trust me. Running this Silver Thorn stride makes a huge difference. So we're going to call Lillian as the last card from our hand. So now we're ready to go into battle phase, and keep in mind we have the guard restrict online, so we do want to make sure to order our attacks properly. And if our opponents go into respect any of what we're about to do, we do have to make sure to attack with at least one of the upright lines before we attack with our Vanguard. So we're going to go ahead and at least swing with these columns here. These are, let's see, 12, 22 plus 10 is 32. So this is 32 because of 26 plus 6. We have the 4 different names in soul of Silver Thorn. And then similarly, this is going to be 29 to their Vanguard. And then one of these upright lines should be attacked with. So let's say we do the biggest one, just so that they either have to PG or take it, which is going to put a lot more pressure on them for subsequent attacks. And you can decide to attack with one more of these upright lines if you'd like. But keep in mind, we're only running 3 stand triggers, 3 of the Prankster Mirror Lens. And of course, I haven't done a deck profile, so you guys might not be aware of that per se. But I just wanted to let you know right now that we are running only 3 of the Prankster Mirror Lens. So it's not really super likely that we get a stand trigger off of this. But when you do your earlier turns and you're putting cards like Cat and High Boots into your soul, usually Prankster Mirror Lens is going to go back to the deck. And typically, if you put her into the soul, especially off a Mystique-Gouman skill like we did earlier, where we put, I believe it was Cat and High Boots and Gouman into the soul to pay her the cost for Mystique-Gouman. Typically, the best thing to do is actually use Prankster Mirrorland and Gouman into the soul for Mystique-Gouman's cost. That way, you get Prankster Mirrorland back in the deck, and then you can replace that with something else from your deck to your soul. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and attack with our Vanguard now. We're going to attack for 34, and keep in mind the end of battle effect of Cerny. So we're going to do the triple drive. They decide to guard however they want, but they have to keep in mind that it is a 2 or more guard restrict that they are under. So let's go ahead and do the triple drive. First is a Venus Luquier. The second is a Prankster Maryland. So let's go ahead and get our upright line stood, of course. And the +5 ideally is going to go to another card that we haven't quite attacked with yet. Or that, you know, has less power, of course, because that upright line is already pretty stacked. And then the third check is a heal trigger, so of course we take those, but not super like great. Of course we would prefer another stand trigger, but it's not a huge deal. We're going to give the power to this upright line, and we're going to heal. And then because that was the end of our drive check, we're going to get the end of battle effect of Cerny, discarding, let's see, the best card to discard I would say is the GR Luquier. We're going to put Cerny into the soul. And then we're going to call out something from our soul to rearguard circle. Ideally, it would be something that can help refill your column, although I will say, in this current situation, we are out of cards that can reset our columns here. So this is just kind of a mistake that you can make if you're playing this deck. Make sure you have another Zelma available so that you can reset one of your columns and force more cards out of their hand. But of course, we did have the 3XL setup, so it's usually not a huge deal that we made this mistake. But because of that, we will just call out the Lillette's instead of something else that we could have called out. Lillette's going to get +3 a little trivially, but the other upright lines non-trivially are going to get +3 because of the card called out from Soul. There we go. So now we're going to attack with these upright lines. Let's go ahead and count the stacks that we've got. So this is 24 plus 18 is, I believe, 42. So 42 plus 5 is going to be 47, plus 9 is going to be 56. So this is a 56 attacker along with the 2 or more guard restrict. That's the opponent's going to have to deal with that one, as well as a, let's see, 18, 21, 26, 31, 40,000, 2 or more guard restrict, so 40,000 power on that upright line, as well as a 24, 34, let's see, 34, 39, 48,000 power, 2 or more guard restrict. So as you can see, this kind of Gouman setup unlocks the full potential of this deck without having to worry about needing to just pull off more attacks. You don't really need to pull off more attacks in order for this to be effective. All you really need to do is do the same upright line setup and then throw in the Gouman along with that. And of course, make sure you go into Mystique-Gouman because this is the main card in our G-Zone that can really enable it. I believe you can also allow Gouman to be enabled by Hari, but unfortunately that's a little counterblast heavy and can only be done during the battle phase, so that is a little bit of a that kind of hurts the capability of the combo if you use it with Hari. But with Mystique-Gouman, it's able to be pulled off with ease because it can be done during the main phase without interfering with the main Silver Thorn combo. So yeah, I hope you guys learned a bit from that combo demonstration. If you liked the video, please feel free to leave a like and a comment, and please subscribe as well. It really helps the channel out, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.